maybe have a bowling team or softball team, or just go out to the clubs, it could really be a sign of burnout when someone just switches off. They become disconnected. They just switch off from life and don't want to be involved anymore. Burnout could be the reason why employees suddenly become cynical about the work relationships and even their perceived place in the workplace altogether. How often do we think we got to go and we're getting promoted, or we think we should be with others relative to what our coworkers, but sometimes we think we deserved a little bit more and it didn't come to pass in our time frame that we think it should have. So then our relationships change with our boss. Of course they do. What about a change in just general behavior? General behavior. For instance, a colleague suddenly has a drastic dip of energy, for example. They may seem disinterested and unspirited compared to how they usually are. Could be a sign of them becoming disengaged, which we talk about is also another marker of burnout. Likewise, a sudden change in eating habits. And you know what I'm talking about, eating habits, either in terms of suddenly eating more or even eating less, could also signal that burnout that we're talking about. That's because individuals suffering from burnout may try to fill the serotonin gap through eating sugary junk food, and that can cause a crash. So it's stress. This could be a reason for that general behavior and burnout. Now, we've all experienced burnout one way or another, and some employees, they just kind of lose interest in their work, lack of care at work. Suddenly an employee suddenly becomes a lot less careful at work, whether in terms of their attention to detail or their attitude. There may be a rise in absenteeism, maybe a little reckless, devil may care attitude. These could signal that individuals no longer care about their jobs. Now, how often do we go to a restaurant where we have great service from a server, we're happy to be there, they're giving us their all, and sometimes just the opposite. They forget to bring our water or silverware or the dessert we ordered, or get orders mixed up. Or just yesterday, I watched someone in a Jack in the Box, believe it or not, wipe the tables down. Same rag, kept spraying it, just okay, next table. And the table next to us, they had a lot of kids there before that. There was French fries and burgers and lettuce and ketchup all over the table. Sprayed a rag and just threw everything on the floor. That's carelessness and needs to be acknowledged, and we need to correct the employee for acting that way, the lack of care of work. Now, I don't know if that was the way they always were. I've never met that person before. But yesterday, it was pretty obvious they did not want to be there. But how many of us want to be in our jobs anyway? So come on, we all have to do something. Now, what about physical illness? Right, this is something else we need to look out for burnout. If you notice someone is off work more often or complaining about, oh, my back or my head hurts, these migraines, and possibly body aches and increased susceptibility to flu and colds and getting sick more often, and it could be their burnout, unable to face work, just don't want to be there, sometimes just afraid to be there at work. Now, how often you thought you were on top of your game? You had it going on. You could brush off the negativity. You could persevere, get the job done regardless of the circumstances around you. But every now and then, and you might have a headache from the night before, or some kind of illness or a death in the family, something like that, a marriage, divorce, all those things affect us. Absolutely. But when we change our attitudes so quickly and maybe so often back and forth, burnout, which leads to depression, anxiety, other ailments, sometimes the ailments we have in the body aches are in our head. It's our way of thinking. We think something's going to be negative in our lives, And you're right, that's going to happen. It's going to be negative. If we think something positive is going to happen in our lives, usually it is positive. So we need to look out for these employee burnout, and not just employee. I'm telling you, look into your own family. Look into your spouse, your brother, your sister, your children, maybe your elderly parents, and find how their attitudes are changing or how they're feeling about life in general. Now, understand the pandemic and COVID-19 has been here. I'm sure it's still here and going to be here for some time, even though it's going to be minimizing effects, hopefully the next few months. But some people are still affected. And like I said, because maybe someone died, someone got really ill, maybe lost their job because of this. And when they're finally called back in, the uncertainty, like, I'm not so sure I want to go in there and wait tables, or I'm not so sure I want to drive a bus, or I'm not so sure I want to work this close proximity to anyone. We need to be careful about some of those things. You know, life's not perfect, and we all experience burnout sometimes. We all experience a 7-year itch. We all experience midlife crisis. And we act or react differently. We're not all the same. God treated us equal but unique. We are all unique. And due to your experiences as well as mine, we may react to different situations differently. It should be expected. So even though this is like a burnout or someone's depressed or just hates the world, we kind of need to observe for a while and look out for those subtle differences. And quite frankly, we need to confront the person. Not in a negative way, not like snap out of it. Come on, get back with the program. Maybe. It depends how close you are to that person. But more often than not, we just need to be listened to. We all hear, we got 2 ears and 1 mouth. We're supposed to listen more than we talk. We all know that. We all understand that. But even today, we often don't follow that rule, even though we may tell everyone about it. So if someone has something on their chest really eating them up, and it might be eating disorders. I just don't know. And how often we sit in front of a TV, we just snack and eat, and it's usually chips, pizza, wings. Sometimes it's carrot sticks, but more often than not, it's the other stuff. And that can add a couple pounds to us. Is it okay to add a couple pounds every now and then? I'm not your doctor, but I think in most cases it's okay. And once you get out of it, go back into a proper diet and taking care of yourself, because our body is a temple. We only have one body, and we need to take care of it. So we'll go over these 5 different ideas again, 5 subtle employee burnout signs that we can be overlooking. So loss of confidence. Remember that we could be the leader of the organization, the CEO, or the newbie. Well, we all have a little bit of confidence as we get the experience and knowledge and time in. But when you suddenly lose that, because maybe you haven't been to work in a while, maybe you're pregnant and had to take that paternity leave 2 or 3 months or whatever that is, and just don't have the confidence you used to. Or sometimes they may hire another employee that we just know is as smart as us, or maybe going to the boss trying to brown nose them, whatever the situation is. We need to be careful why people are losing that confidence. And then the change of socializing. Talk about, are you still talking and not gossiping, talking, chatting, having a good time, making plans after work, doing some things, maybe company procedures or policies, like you got to play the links, golfing, whatever it is. And to suddenly change, or somebody you know changes those behaviors, kind of observe, watch, and ask those questions again. And then the general behavior, just basically a lack of energy, that ho-hum, like we talked about, eating habits, not paying attention to what we need in our bodies to ensure we have the energy and strength, maybe just getting too lazy for too long. I get lazy sometimes, and in my mind it's too long, but we got to snap out of it, and we need someone that can help us. And if we see someone at work who always cross the T's and dot the I's, and now all of a sudden they're forgetting some of those T's and I's, or not doing a good job cleaning, or not putting things away, or forgetting to lock the door, or whatever it is. Ho-hum attitude, not really taking care of the trash or clean the trash can out when the job is done. Pay attention to that. Lack of care work. None of us likes to take trash out, but somebody has to do it. And I believe we've all done it at one point in our life, and some of us are still doing it. If it's part of our job, it's part of our job. And I talk to people all the time. If you don't like your job, try to do something about it. Anyways, that's not about it. It's about more absenteeism. It's more about being reckless and those physical ailments. My back hurts. I'm having migraine again. My vision, whatever it is. And we understand some people were sick from COVID, and a year ago is totally different than it is today. But just pay attention. Is this something chronic to come up with a new illness every other day or every other week, or is this something really serious? So I just encourage you and me to look out for the people we work with, the people we work for, the people that work for us, as well as our family, friends, and neighbors, and look for signs of burnout. And we're all going to experience it. Even if you love your job, every now and then we're going to feel it. And I've got some pastor friends and priests who love preaching the gospel, and they are really good at it. But they need our prayers too and concern, because that's hard. That's a hard job. Anytime you're getting out there and sharing your vision, whatever it is, it's hard because we need to be fed. We all need to be fed with positive energy on a regular basis. So look for those burnout symptoms. Could be symptoms out there that could cause or lead to more serious problems in the future. And let's not forget to look out for one another and give our positive energy. If we can't do our best, and we cannot always do our best, but make sure we're doing all we can do and help guide people in the right direction. Hey, these are my words for today. Those habits, those burnout, we need to look for depression, anxiety, and more importantly, how you and I can look out for each other. Have yourself a great day. I'm mumbling more often than ever, so maybe I'm having my own issues. So please leave a chat in the chat box, leave some comments on the video, like and share, and please give me your comments, your ideas, suggestions for more shows in the future and what you want to hear about. Don't forget to subscribe to us, because together we can make the world a better place. Have fun now. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
As we continue to grow and build a brand, social media shows continue to develop and discover new possibilities to help one another. Our affordable services will help us move to the next level of our journey. Host your own show to inspire or entertain others for as low as $150 per month.
You have 20 shows a week, live stream.
We are looking for sponsors. We showcase your business products and services on our network to be seen by your target market for as low as $200 a month.
That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations.
Let us promote and advertise your event, giving your venue the red carpet treatment. This platform allows venues that feature entertainment, singers, bands, DJs, comedy, fashion, corporate events, and family events to be showcased in a new direction that also involves your audiences starts at $200 an hour. We also provides video editing, website builder, commercial video for your business, music videos, photography, provided by our affiliates. As we build our community, we pay it forward. Our nonprofit organization GI Connections is all about giving back to our community. Join us create outreach programs to help our community and live a happy, peaceful, and unity. Let us bring the world to you.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. We've reached the age of live streaming on social media shows. You may ask, we're already ahead of the curve, so why do you need to advertise with us? Well, only 8% of the businesses in the US are using digital advertising to grow their business. That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations. So get your brand ready for digital monetization, for we are looking for sponsors, which will bring more traffic to your business and ultimately mean more sales. So let's bring the world to you. Inquire now.
Hello, everyone. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Well, you see my office today is a bunch of flowers, beautiful hills, mountains, the grasses. It looks pleasant. It looks like a friendly, welcoming environment. It looks like the place you want to be. But be careful. There are things out there. The bugs, the critters, the unknown, the snakes. For instance, yesterday I went for my daily jog through the woods, and I came across a snake go right across the path just in front of us, a few feet in front of us. And thankfully I noticed it, because I would have kept going and could have stepped on it, could have tripped on it, could have felt the wrath of this snake. And I'm sure it wasn't poisonous, but it was at least 5 or 6 feet long. Wasn't real thick, it was thin, just minding his own business, crossing the street. Now, when I was a child or teenager a few years ago, I would have got a stick, I would have had a rock, I would have tried to catch it. So many things I would have done to the snake. And the snake literally was minding his own business. He wasn't looking for any trouble or wanted to get in my face. In fact, when I stopped taking pictures, I think he was posing for me. He just went back out into the woods and been left alone. But how often we look for those snakes, those mice, those rodents, and we want to get in their face. We want to show them who's superior. We want to take them apart sometimes. You ever take the wings off a butterfly or a stinger off a scorpion? And that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. Often the scorpion looks so nice and friendly, the gerbil looks so nice and friendly. Rats, well, rats never look nice and friendly. But we have those things that will come up to you, sniff around, and when you least expect it, could bite you. You know what I mean? They could bite you. In fact, a couple weeks ago, we were swimming in a pool at this beautiful hotel in Thousand Oaks, California, and there was a bee in the pool. And I thought the bee was dead. Personally, I thought the bee was dead. And my friend's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to do this bee. I said, just push it out with your hand, right? Just grab your hand with some water and push it out of the pool. So won't have to worry about it, or won't attract any of his friends, who knows? Well, that simple, honest gesture of just swooping the bee out of the pool, the bee stung her. The bee stung her. We all thought it was dead, and the bee probably saw this big hand coming right at him and just went pow. Now it stung her finger. In fact, it even drew blood, if I'm not mistaken, when the stinger was pulled out. It caused a little bit of swelling for a few hours. Sometimes when you and I think we're doing something kind, something generous, helpful, we can get stung. We can get bit. We can get bruised and hurt and maimed. And we notice that later on in life. Obviously, I've been stung many times in my life, not so much the recent years, because I'm a little bit more careful where I step, where I stand, and I'm looking everywhere I go, especially in the field, like you see behind me with the beautiful flowers. Sure, you can put your nose in that flower and smell it, but there could be a bee, there could be a wasp, there could be a butterfly, it could be a caterpillar, could be all kinds of things in that flower doing what they were created to do. Yet you and I are kind of interfering a little bit with nature. Now, I believe strongly God created the flowers, the trees, the animals, the mountains, the lakes, the oceans, the valleys, for all of us to enjoy. I deeply appreciate that. I deeply believe in that. But we have to be careful, because he created it for all of his creatures to enjoy. I believe the horses, the pigs, the skunks, and bees all have the same nature you and I do, to enjoy, to relax, to feel safe. So we have to be careful not to invade in others' privacy so much, or in their inner space. Most animals are okay, I can see you, you can see me, and I'm safe. We're not going to bother one another. As humans, we might ask, hey, pass the milk, or give me a beer, or a cigarette, or whatever it is, as long as it's in a calm, general, friendly manner. But sometimes we think something's owed us. Sometimes we'll go to a fishing hole and someone else is in that fishing hole. Like, hold on there, buddy, that's my hole. I was going to fish there. And more often than not, go say, you snooze, you lose. You showed up too late. I didn't know, whatever it is. Do you and I have a right to get in someone else's face that's in our watering hole just because we want to be there? Now, there comes a time and place you might have to file for a permit to fish in that particular spot. You may have a reserve for particular hours or days, and someone didn't know and just jumped in. And we see that at picnic tables in parks all the time. It says, call this number to reserve. And more often than not, people just show up and, okay, no one's here. And they plop their picnic baskets down and throw the steaks on the grill. Are they wrong? Well, kind of sad it is, because our laws give us all an ample opportunity to enjoy the same things if we follow the rules. And I know none of us want to follow the rules all the time, and sometimes following the rules costs you some money. And often not follow the rules can cost you even more money. Now, besides the critters, the horses, the picnics, the bees, the scorpions, there's something else I really want you to pay attention to. We know bees are the essence of life. They create everything. pass the pollen from flower to flower. It goes into the trees and everything grows where we can eat, we can smell, we can grow things with, do things with. Bees are very important to us. And friendships are a lot important to us. But bees, like some particular friendships, where we know they're there for a purpose to provide and service in a way and make life just that little bit better. Sometimes the people we perceive as our friends are just like that scorpion or just like that bee and will sting you when you're not looking. Will stab you in the back when you least expect it. Will turn on you in a moment's notice. Now, why is that? Why do we as human beings think we can do that to one another? Why would we put our trust, tell our innermost secrets to a potential partner or just a good friend? And sometimes it turns around and bites us. Like we were talking about, that snake could bite your finger or bite you in the ass, or that goat that looks friendly, you know, the ones with the horns. You got to keep an eye on them. In fact, I recommend keep 2 eyes on them at least 6 foot distance, because they will, more likely than not, jump you, attack you, see if they're tougher or not. And people are the same way. I believe people from around the world, they all want love, we all want security, we all want to be able to make a living and enjoy the simpler things of life, and we all want to have enough money to maybe help our friends or family, or just go on little mini trips from time to time and eat decently. I think all cultures want that. Now, depending on your upbringing, if you're brought up in a castle or a mansion somewhere, you might be used to some of the more finer things of life. But I think deep down inside, our basic needs, safety, right, food, shelter, it's right there. And if we could just help each other get that safety, food, and shelter without giving handouts, teach people how to grow, how to make a living, give opportunities to them, everyone could live a little bit more harmoniously and have a better life in general. Now, that's the perfect world, right? That's the perfect world. Love and peace, love and peace, love and peace. And we can all preach love and peace. What does that mean? Is it my kind of love only? Is it only my kind of peace that I demand from you? Yeah, that's one of the flaws of humankind, is we're self-centered and sometimes selfish. I don't know if you all are, but I'm told I am sometimes. And you know what I'm talking about. We become self-centered. As long as our needs are fulfilled, we often forget to look at our neighbor, our friend, our relative. And that's where greed comes in. That's why we do get stabbed in the back. That's why people look the other way if something's happening to us. That's why if there's a snake coming down, we may not be warned that there's a snake in our path. We just kind of have to deal with it. So it's important to have friends, and we do not need hundreds of friends. A good handful of close ones are great. Nothing wrong with having a dozen or two that you can count on a fairly regular basis, but don't tell everyone your innermost secrets. That, my friend, will bite you in the ass somewhere down the line. I promise you. Now, sure, we want to be able to trust everyone, but not everyone is trustworthy. Not everyone wants to be trustworthy. We may want to come across either like, you can tell me anything, you can rely on me, trust me, I won't tell anyone that. And some other people come up with an aggressiveness like, yo, bud, get out of my face. Just get out of here, get out of here. I'm going to knock you into tomorrow if you talk to me that way again. Whatever it is. Be careful who you choose in your life. Be careful, because we want to feel protected. That's part of our safety net. You surround yourself with the right kind of people, like-minded people, you should be set. And realize that when you're 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, those inner circle people will probably change, because all of our mindsets change, our experiences change, our environments change, and that's really okay. It's okay to let go of some people and bring in some others. But be careful when you bring in someone. It might seem friendly on the outside. They may have a snake in the background. They may have a scorpion in their pocket. They may have a goat with those big horns on their property. So be really careful. They may be well-meaning people, but some have ulterior motives. Some just don't even know it yet, because they may have a friend that has ulterior motives and they just don't get it. Every one of us has experiences from negative people. People want to, like I said, backstab us, people that want to throw us down the river or not help us out at all. And sadly, sometimes that's our own family. Anyways, you're in the office with Joseph Skoda. I just want you to think about everything comes across their path. Whether you're trying to push a bee out of a swimming pool, a snake is in front of you as you're jogging, a scorpion just waiting for you to get too close. They're everywhere. And if we just let them be, they often let us be. But if you accidentally step into their territory, learn to step back slowly, cautiously, keep the eye contact, but be prepared for the unexpected, because it will bite you in the ass. Once again, have yourself a great day. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye. If you liked our show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on any social media platform, Instagram, of course, Facebook. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts and join our team. Anyways, we appreciate you staying tuned week after week, day after day, because we continuously build up our network to bring to you what you're asking for. Have a great day.